Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine there. Okay, today lecture I am going to talk about chapter 2, conduct of audit. So it means how to run the audit, especially the audit firms or audit companies or public accounting firms when they do the audit. What are the things to be considered, or how they conduct the audit, how they run the audit. That's an important one, general one. When we study audit, definitely we should know how to conduct the audit, how the audit firms do the audit. So when they do the audit, what are the matters, so what are the roles are to be considered by the particular audit firm or audit companies. Yeah, just wait, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, students, I hope the audio almost all everybody watch the whole lecture video for the chapter 1. So if you have any questions, if you have any doubt, you can put your questions in the LMS chatting screen. And the particular time I already allocated to the particular time for your question and answers. So you can use that particular space also. So if you raise any questions or if you put any questions, I can able to with the answer for those questions. Okay, here today in the chapter 2, the conduct of audit. So the first we can see the learning outcomes. So this chapter consists three learning objectives or learning outcomes. The first one, the understand the parties involved in the process of setting auditing standards. The first objective. Under the first objectives, we are going to discuss what are the parties, so what are the things to be involved in the process of setting auditing standards. The second one, understand the regulation of auditors in Sri Lanka, especially we should know what are the regulations to be considered by the auditors when they do the audit. So third one, identify different Sri Lanka auditing standard. This is just I'm going to introduce. I'm going to show this number of standards, auditing standards are there. That's all. Otherwise, I'm not going to touch that part. So the altogether three objectives are there. We will see one by one. This one says under the introduction, you can see, you can read this one. The conduct of audit is count supervised or governed by three set of rules. Please remember, when the audit firms, for example, the KPMG or Jung or Deloitte or other local audit firms, when they do the audit, so the three set of rules, they have to consider three set of things or three set of rules. The first one, the company law or company act. So in Sri Lanka, we know already we discussed the Company Act number 7 of 2007. There is a Company Act. All the companies, they have to properly adopt the Company Act when they do the activities. Similarly, the auditors also, audit firms or audit companies or public accounting firms, when they do the audit, they should properly follow the instruction which are given in the particular Company Act number 7 of 2007. So we will discuss those things clearly. The next handout, the separate handout is there for this company law, Company Act. Yes, that handout number 3, that should be the next handout. We will discuss it deeply. So what are the arrangements are there under the Company Act number 7 of 2007, especially related to the public company or public company point of view. So a lot of things we will discuss. So what are the qualification of the auditor? What are the disqualification? So the who will decide the audit fee of the auditors? So then a lot of things we discuss under the particular handout number 3. That should be the next handout. So second one is the code of ethics. This is another one important one. Second one, code of ethics. organization world, very competitive world, 21st century. So very competition is going on. No? In the business market, you can see the older firms are very hardly competing with other firms. So when they compete with other firms, that definitely they should keep in their mind. They should properly respect. They have to properly behave. They have to have good behavior. So that is represented by the term ethics or ethical practices. So everybody similarly, the audit firms also, audit firms, ability to say the all the members of the professional bodies, maybe the member of CS Sri Lanka, member of SEMA, member of ACCA or CPA or CFA, all the members of professional bodies, they must follow the code of ethics properly, or code of ethics or code of conduct. The particular this is a written document itself. The document consists a number of ethical practices or good behavior. So all the members, when they carry out their duties or activities, they have to properly fully adopt this code of ethics or ethical principles or ethical practices which are given under the particular document that is called as code of ethics or code of conduct. This one also we are going to discuss the following handout. This should be the handout number 4. We will clearly discuss what is the meaning of ethics. So what's the purpose of this code of ethics or code of conduct. So a lot of things we discuss later. So third one is there, auditing standards. So this is a ISA or SLA. We'll discuss later because these three are the important things to be considered by the audit firms or audit companies or public accounting firms when they run the audit of the particular company. So please remember, so the conduct of audit is governed by 3 set of rules. The first one is the company act or company law. Second one, code of conduct. Third one, the auditing standards. So then here you can see this one, the setting auditing standards. Yes, when we say the previous lecture, the first chapter, number of time we talk about that the preparation of financial statement. So financial statements are prepared by the management of the company. So when they prepare the financial statement, they have to properly comply with the accounting standards, so Sri Lanka accounting standard. Yes, when we talk about the financial statement preparation, we have to talk about that accounting standard. They have to properly adopt the accounting standard. Similarly, when we talk about the audit report, particular audit firm or the public accounting firm, audit company, they must properly adopt the auditing standard. As per the auditing standards, they have to prepare the audit report. They have to do the audit. Okay. So when we say the setting auditing standard, then the question is who will prepare the auditing standard. So then we have to talk about two main institutions in the worldwide. The first one you can see in the top part, the Apex. This is a highest institution in our accounting provision. This is a worldwide international organization that is called as IFAC, International Federation of Accountants. I hope somebody already heard about the name IFAC, International Federation of Accountants. This is a super body, the apex in our accountancy profession. Yes, this is the superior body in our accountancy profession. Under the IFAC, another institution is there that is called as IAASB, International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. That's all. That's just enough to remember the two institutions are there in our accountancy provision. The IFAC is Apex, the top level organization. So under the IFAC, another one is there that is also another international organization, that is International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. So here Some of the things are there. Another one is under this one, IFAC. Another this one says the IFAC Code of Ethics. So just I um, said something about this Code of Ethics. That's a particular document. Actually, that is prepared and presented by this IFAC. This is the IFAC actually the publish this code of conduct or code of ethics. Okay, then under the IAASB, some other things are there. Actually, the IAASB, you can see here, International Standards on Auditing, ISCS. It means that when we talk about this auditing standard, all the auditing standards are prepared and presented by this institution. Which institution? IAASB, National Auditing and Assurance Standards Board, under the supervision of IFAC. Please remember the older auditing standards. It may be the International Standard Auditing. Then we can say that Sri Lanka auditing standards all are prepared and published by the IAASB under the supervision direction of IFAC. IFAC is the apex in our accountancy profession. Under the IFAC, IAASB is functional. So then you can say International Auditing and Assurance Standard Board is the subsidiary company of IFAC. Please understand, IAASB is the subsidiary of IFAC. Okay, we will discuss later. Here you can see, okay, this slide we are going to talk about something about IFAC. The International Federation of Accountants, the global organization for the accountancy profession. Okay, it was formed in 1977 and is based in New York, US. Yes, IFAC has more than 170 member bodies of accountants, representing 2.5 million accountants from 120 separate countries. So that's for your knowledge. This is important one. IFAC overall mission, you can clearly read. What is the mission of this IFAC? This is a worldwide organization. The mission is to serve the public interest, strengthen the worldwide accountancy profession, and contribute to the development of strong international economies by establishing the promoting adherence to high quality professional standards. This is a mission of this IFAC. Don't try to memorize, just read and understand. Just keep in your mind some key terms. So the mission to serve the public interest, strengthen the worldwide accountancy provision, and contribute to the development of strong international economies by establishing and promoting adherence to high quality professional standards, high quality professional standards. Yes, then international standards in auditing. This is very important. So when we talk about audit, all the auditors must adopt these the international auditing standards. So as per the international auditing standards, they should do the audit. Yes. Similarly, the accountant, when they prepare the financial statement, they have to properly adopt the accounting standard. As per the accounting standard, they prepare the financial statement. Similarly, the auditors, when they do the audit and then prepare the audit report, they should follow the auditing standard. The name is International Standard on Auditing. So as we discussed in the previous slide, all the auditing standards here, all the auditing standards, these auditing standards are prepared and presented by the International Auditing and Assurance Standard Board under the supervision of IFAC. So these are world international organizations. That's the name is there. Here, what is the name? International Standards on Auditing. Here, the International Auditing and Assurance Standard Board, that is actually these auditing standards set by IAASB, already discussed. Then IAASB is a subsidiary company of the International Federation of Accountants. You agree, no? Yes, already discussed. There are more than 30 ISA, more than 30 auditing standards are there. Yes, in the later part, I will introduce one by one. So then you should know other IFAC and IAASB activities. Yes, IFAC publishes Code of Ethics. As I told you earlier, IFAC actually the prepare and present the particular written document in the name of Code of Ethics, counting all assurance engagements carried out under IAASB standards. Yes. IASB publishes International Standard on Quality Control. Yes, in addition, the IASB publishes another document that is International Standard on Quality Control. It's not important. Actually, we are not going to talk about that one. You should remember there's a code of conduct or code of ethics. That's particular document that is published by the IFAC. International Standard on Quality Control, that kind of things normally published by IASB. Don't confuse both. No? Exam view, the number of more the students actually they made a mistake in these areas. They confuse both one IFAC with the IAASB. Okay. Then we see, yes, another two terms are there. One is a national regulatory bodies, other one is a national standard setters. Clearly understand. In this one, national regulatory bodies. Okay. This one, national standard setters. We will see. The national regulatory body, when we say in Sri Lanka, the Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standards Monitoring Board, SLAASMB, is the national regulatory body in Sri Lanka. Just remember, because you can search in Google by using this name, Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standard Monitoring Board, SLAASMB, is the national regulatory bodies in Sri Lanka. So what are the function of that particular body? What are the activities? The first one, enforce the implementation of auditing standards. In Sri Lanka, they normally enforce the implementation of auditing standards. Second one, have disciplinary powers to enforce quality of audit work. The audit firms, when they do the audit, this particular national regulatory body, it means SLAASMB, have sort of disciplinary powers to make sure the quality of audit work. That's a power. Third one, have rights to inspect or examine audit files to monitor audit quality. So another functional activities of this particular board, the particular board has the rights to check the audit files to monitor the audit quality. In order to make sure the audit quality, sometimes they may check the audit files which are checked by the particular audit firm during the audit process. So that's actually these national regulatory bodies normally do different activities or functions. Please remember, when we say the national regulatory body, you should be able to tell one example in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, you can say Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standards Monitoring Board. You can Google this name, then you can get more idea. So second one, when we say the national standard setters, earlier one national regulatory body, the Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Monitoring Standard Board. National standard setter is very important because national standard setters within the particular country, they normally set the standards, set the auditing standards. In Sri Lanka, you should know the CA Sri Lanka or Institute of Chartered Accountants Sri Lanka is functioning as national standard setters. Here may set their own auditing standards or may adopt and implement ISA, because if actually what is the function of the main purpose of these national standard setters in Sri Lanka, the CS Sri Lanka, if they want, they can set their own standard, auditing standards, so otherwise they can adopt and implement the international standards on auditing, possibly after modifying them to suit national needs, because please understand the things now. When we talk about the national standard setters, In Sri Lanka, example is a CA Sri Lanka is a national as a national standard setters. They prepare their own auditing standard in Sri Lanka. Otherwise, they can adopt a standards auditing standard from the IAASB. That means the international standards on auditing. Then they make some modification to the international standards on auditing and then implement in Sri Lanka with a modification. So unfortunately or fortunately in Sri Lanka, the CA Sri Lanka actually totally they adopt all the standard from the auditing standard from the international IAASB. So here, please understand, no? In Sri Lanka, CA Sri Lanka never create or prepare any standard. They fully adopted all the standard from the IAASB and then make some modifications as per the country requirements because okay, the to suit the national needs. Because you know that when we say the international standard on auditing, is they normally the IAASB develop the particular standard based on the developed market view. For example, is based on New York, they based on the market, UK market, or Australian market, or US market, all other developed markets. So, but when we in Sri Lanka, when we adopt those standard from the IAASB, so definitely we have to make some modification to the original standard. Then only we can implement here because our market is developing market. Everything is different. So that is the story. Okay, no? Yes. Then we can see some examples I've given. So different countries they have the different standard setters. Something I highlighted. If you want, you can read it. Just then we can talk about this regulation of auditors in Sri Lanka. You should clearly understand. When we talk about when we say the regulation of auditors in Sri Lanka, actually the first point says under the Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995. Keep in your mind, this is an important act. So if you want, you can download this act in the PDF format. The lengthy pages are there. Actually, already I uploaded this PDF document in the LMS. If you want to get more idea about this act, so you can refer that particular act. So that's actually this under this act, the CA Sri Lanka is a formulating body for Sri Lanka accounting standard. Maybe the SLFRS or LKS and the Sri Lanka auditing standards. Please keep in your mind when we talk about the regulation of auditors in Sri Lanka, as per the particular Act, Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995, the CA Sri Lanka is the formulating body for accounting standard and auditing standard. That's all. So auditors in Sri Lanka must follow SLA US. So the auditors in Sri Lanka, they must follow auditing standards. When they do the audit and then they prepare the audit report, they must properly follow the auditing standards. Regulation of the auditing provision and the monitoring of compliance with LKS and SLA US, accounting standard and auditing standard by specified business enterprise. This is very important. Keep in your mind the term specified business enterprise. They normally abbreviate SBE, specified business enterprise. This is a term they use to highlight a particular set of organizations. So actually, under the term specified business enterprise (SBE), particular firms or companies are listed. That's they use the term specified business enterprise. So here, this point says regulation of the auditing provision and monitoring of compliance with the accounting and auditing standard by specified business enterprises carried out by the Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standard Monitoring Board. Actually, this board is actually established under the particular this act. We will discuss clearly later. So this particular board is responsible to check the regulation and monitoring of compliance for the specified business enterprise only. Please understand. Here, the regulation of the auditing provision and monitoring of compliance with LKS and SLAUS by specified business enterprise is carried out by the SLAASB. We will discuss in the coming slides what's the meaning of this business enterprise. Then we can discuss something more about this SLAASB in the coming slides. So auditors carrying out an audit in accordance with the Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995 are required to certify in their audit report that the audit has been conducted in accordance with Sri Lanka auditing standards. So, the important things, just keep in your mind. The auditing carried out by an auditing in accordance with the Accounting Auditing Standard Act are required to certify. As per this particular act, yes, SBE, specified business enterprises are required to specified business enterprise auditors. What auditors do the audit for this specified business enterprise? So as per the particular act, Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995, as per the particular act, that act itself require the particular auditors of SBE to certify in their audit report that the audit has been conducted in accordance with the auditing standards. That is very compulsory as per the particular act. As per the Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995, all the auditors of SBE required to certify in their audit report that the audit has been conducted as per the Sri Lanka auditing standards. So finally, as I told you earlier in the previous video lecture, the first handout, when we talk about these things, as I told you, the finally auditors give the particular document that is for the audit report. Audit report, the particular sentence they use the term, they normally did the audit as per the auditing standard. This is a compulsory to SBE, specified business enterprise. We will discuss about what's the meaning of specified business enterprise, what are the firms come under the SBE in the coming slides. So then the financial statements have been prepared and presented in accordance with the Sri Lanka accounting standards. So this is a compulsory to this SBE as per the particular act. They have to certify that they properly adapt the auditing and accounting standards. Okay, no? Yes. Then we are going to talk about two committee. What are the two committees? The first one is Accounting Standards Committee. Other one is the Auditing Standards Committee. And the two committees are functioning in Sri Lanka. Definitely, you should get some idea about these two committees. So, exam point of view, you don't need to worry about these ones. The final paper, you don't need to expect question from this this part. Actually, the examiner asks questions. What's the meaning of this committee? So, but the assignment purpose, sometimes examiner may ask questions, but we should know because these things are there. Because these are the two committees are there. Both are the important committees. The first one we can see the Accounting Standard Committee. So when we say the Accounting Standard Committee, the committee, here you can see the committee is established under the Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995. Actually, the Accounting Standard Committee, next one is the Auditing Standard Committee. Both committee were established under the particular act, Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995. Yes. Here, then you should know what's the purpose of these two committees. So when we say the Accounting Standard Committee is a purpose in order to make recommendations or suggestions and assist to the CA Sri Lanka, then assist to the Institute of Chartered Accountants Sri Lanka in the adoption, revision, and withdrawal of accounting standards. So in these three areas, the first one is adoption, second one is a revision, third one is a withdrawal. In these three areas, they try to give some recommendations or suggestion, as well as they try to support or provide the assistant to the CA Sri Lanka. That's the purpose of this accounting standard committee. So then you can ask a question, what's the purpose of auditing standard committees? Everything is same. This committee also was established under the particular act, Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995. What's the purpose of this committee? Auditing Standard Committee. Keep in mind, Auditing Standard Committee make recommendation as to the CA Sri Lanka in these three areas: adoption, revision, and withdrawal of what auditing standards. Earlier, Accounting Standard Committee, the Accounting Standard, Auditing Standard Committee, the recommendation and assist to the CA Sri Lanka in the adoption and revision and withdrawal of auditing standard. That is the Auditing Standard Committee. If it is accounting standard, that's the accounting standard committee. That's all. Just read and understand. So then the important one, you should know the composition of each committee. The composition. So how many members are there? Each and every committee. So when we say the accounting standard committee, this committee consists 12 members. So what are those 12 members? The first one, the president and other 5 members from CA Sri Lanka. Altogether 6 members, 6 chartered accountants. And then another one come from the CIMA, yes. Other one, the registrar of the company, the company registrar, also one of the members of this accounting standard committee. The next one is the director general SEC. What is the meaning of SEC? Security Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka. One member come from SEC. Another member come from nominated by the governor of Central Bank, CBSL nominee. Other one member who shall be a director of a company or person having extensive experience at senior managerial level. You may specify the business enterprise. We already introduced that specify business enterprise. So one member, senior member, come from SBE. Person should be nominated by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. That's another person. One member who shall be a director of a company or a person having extensive experience at senior level in a SBE, okay, nominated by the Federation of Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Sri Lanka. Altogether 12 members, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 plus 5, 11, plus 1, 12. This is a formation of Accounting Standard Committee. Then we can see the Auditing Standard Committee was established under the particular act. Yes, okay. What is the purpose? Make some suggestion or recommendation as well as support to the CA Sri Lanka in the adoption, revision, and withdrawal of auditing standards. Okay. But what about the composition of this Auditing Standard Committee? This consists of 8 chartered accountants. All are the chartered accountants and at least 4 members should be member of Accounting Standard Committee. Altogether 8 members, 8 chartered accountant, but the 50% must be represented come from the Accounting Standard Committee. Other 4 people should come from somewhere else, but the minimum 4, at least 50% should be drawn from the Accounting Standard Committee. This is the formation of these 2 committees. I hope you understood, no? Yes. So then we are going to talk about this one. Entities subject to audit. This is very important. So number of times we use the term SBE. So here we are going to deeply discuss what's the meaning of this SBE. So here, specified business enterprise. That's abbreviation of this one, SBE. S for specified, B for business, E for enterprise. So the specified business enterprises must have their financial statement audited by members of the CA Sri Lanka. The first things. I hope the first one also we discussed, no? The thing is there. We discussed something about that audit is compulsory to public and private companies as per the Company Act. Yes, here when we say the specified business enterprises, they must have their financial statement audited by the CS Sri Lanka. So then you can say SBE, Specified Business Enterprise, the particular firms are going to be listed under the SBE. Those firms' financial statement must be audited by the chartered accountants. Yes. Holding a certificate to practice issued by the judge. The person who is going to do the audit of SBE, they have to have a certificate which is issued by the particular institute. It means the particular the child institute. Yes. So then we can understand what are the firms come under the SBE, Specified Business Enterprise. Never examine ask question for you. Final papers or list out the name, some name of SBE, but you should know when you say the SBE, so what types of organization come under the particular term SBE. So here the first one, the company's license under the Banking Act number 30th of 1988. That is a one type of companies come under the SBE. Another type companies authorized to carry on business of insurance, so some insurance types companies. Other one is a companies carrying on leasing companies. All are come under the SPE. Another one companies registered under the Finance Companies Act. Yes, companies is licensed under the Securities and Exchange Commission to operate as a unit trust. Then the companies licensed under the Securities and Exchange Commission Act to carry out business as stockbrokers or stock dealers. Those people also come under the SBE. So then the company is licensed under the Security and Exchange Commission to operate the stock exchange. So Colombo Stock Exchange also, that is a particular institution come under the SPE. Other one is the important one. Companies listed in stock exchange. So the previous first hand about we use a number of places this example of public companies or listed companies. What is the meaning of listed companies? Those companies are listed in the Colombo Stock Exchange, CSC. So that's particular CSC. In the older companies listed in the stock exchange license under the particular act, all the companies come under the SPE. So the simply you can say the older CSC listed companies come under the SPE. So don't think that only those companies. In addition to that, this one, some other companies also will come under the SBE. Okay, other companies include although not listed. The non-listed companies also come under the SBE. So some conditions are there. Here some conditions are there. One by one we will see. First one, have a annual sales revenue in excess of rupees 500 million. So those companies are not listed companies, but if their annual turnover is excess of 500 million, so definitely those companies also come under the SBE. Second one, at the end of the previous financial year, had a shareholder equity in excess of rupees 100 million. They normally come under the SBE. Next one, at the end of the previous financial year, had gross assets in excess of 300 million. So next one, at the end of the previous year, had liabilities to banks and the finance institutions in excess of 100 million. Or they have a staff in excess of 1,000 employees. So if the number of staff are excess of 1,000, so those companies also come under the SPE. So the different types of companies come under the SPE. So what the condition? What is the condition? So SBE's financial statement must be audited by a CA member. The person should have the particular license or certificate to practice as auditor. Okay, no? Yes. So then we are going to talk about deeply some information about this particular board. That is a Sri Lanka Accounting, Auditing and Auditing Standard Monitoring Board. This is earlier we discussed as a national regulatory body in Sri Lanka. It's a AASB. Yes, the Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standards Monitoring Board is Sri Lanka's independent regulator responsible for what? Monitoring compliance of standards or accounting standard or auditing standards in relation to financial statement specified in Act number 15 of 1985. This is the main purpose of this board. They are going to monitor the complaints of accounting and auditing standards of the financial statement of the particular SBE. Second one, SLAASMB is a member of the International Forum of Independent Auditor Regulators from 2007. This for your knowledge, okay. Then the function of the board is to monitor the annual reports of SBE. Please keep in your mind the main purpose of this board to look after the SBE function. Whether they comply with the old accounting and auditing standard or not, especially with the SBE. Okay, the function of the board is to monitor the annual reports of SBE to ensure that financial statements have been prepared by the SBEs in compliance with Sri Lanka accounting standards. Okay. The board consists, then we should know what's the composition of this SLAASMB. Altogether 13 members. Yes, the 3 members are ex officio. What does it mean, ex officio? Actually, the other 10 members are appointed by the particular minister. Yes, okay. So here the minister, the different 10 people may be appointed by the minister. The other 3 people are ex officio. What does it mean, ex officio? When we say the ex officio means some people get the membership automatically through their position, through their designation. It means, for example, in your faculty, when the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, so we have a number of committees or subcommittees within the faculty. So each committee have a certain number of members. So in this case, actually the dean of the faculty and all the heads of the departments automatically get the membership of most of the committees. They normally get the position as ex officio because of the CAT or because of the dean, the particular person get a membership in the particular committee or in the particular board. That terminology is called as ex officio. So when we talk about the Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standard Monitoring Board, out of the 13 members, out of 13, 3 members are ex officio, the 10 members are appointed by the minister. So when we say these three members are the ex officio, no, what are those people? The first person is a registrar of the companies. Second one is a CGIR, Commissioner General of Inland Revenue Department, and the third one, Director General of SEC. What is the meaning of SEC? Security Exchange Commission. These 3 people are ex officio. Other 10 people here you can read one by one. It's not so much a matter, but you should know that this is a way this board is composed. No? The form. Yes, then we can see this. What are the powers? This is important one. The exam point of view, this is important. So when we talk about this Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standard Monitoring Board, this is a national regulatory body in Sri Lanka. They have some disciplinary powers or rights to check the audit files, audit document for the purpose of ensuring the quality of audit work by the auditors. So then, so when we say when we see the powers of this board, the first one, obtain any information from the auditor. Yes, so they can get any information from the auditors or the entity, particular company, related to financial statements of a specified business enterprise. The powers are limited to the SBE. They can deal with the specified business enterprises only. Yes, so please keep in your mind. No, second one, to summon and question any directors or officials or auditor for any SBE. Yeah, think about what about the power of this particular Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standard Monitoring Board. They can question anybody, any directors or officials or auditors of any specified business enterprises on any matter pertaining to the preparation and presentation of financial statement. Yes, they can ask questions. So question anybody, director or the officials or the executives or the even auditor, they can ask questions about this preparation of financial statement. So to carry out investigation and hold inquiries on such matters, if they suppose they have some doubt, they can make some investigation. So they can carry out some inquiries on such matters. So finally, to inform the Inland Revenue Department for reduction of significant tax liability on account of non-compliance with provision in the Act by any SBE. Suppose any firms listed under the SBE, if they make some mistake in the tax calculation due to the non-compliance of some provisions or some accounting standards. So due to those things, they show the low amount of tax for the particular financial year. Immediately, the SLAASB informed to the Inland Revenue Department about these issues. So that's the power. Those are the powers. These kind of powers given to the SLAASB. So this is a national regulatory body in Sri Lanka. Okay, you Google, you can search and get more idea about this particular board. No? So then, yes, third objective. So now we are going to talk about that Sri Lanka auditing standards. Actually, after the mid-semester provision, I will touch 3 or 4 types of standards under the particular subject. Actually, I'm not going to touch any standards, but I'm going to introduce these things under the particular concept, conduct of audit. The very important third governing principle or law is the auditing standards. In Sri Lanka, we use the name the Sri Lanka Auditing Standards. So the original one is ISA, International Auditing Standards. That is actually the published by IAASB under the supervision of IFAC. So when the CA Sri Lanka adopted those standard and implement those standards in Sri Lanka, they changed the name as SLA USS. So the Sri Lanka auditing standards are based on the international standards on auditing, yes, published by the IAASB, okay, of the International Federation of Accountants. Yes, okay, that's okay. The international standards have been adopted where necessary to comply with Sri Lanka legislation. As per the Sri Lanka rules and regulation, those standards have been adopted by the CS Sri Lanka. The most recently published set of SLAs are applicable for audits of financial statements for periods beginning on or after 1st of January 2014. So after that, because 2014, these standards they normally made some changes. So the implement in the effective date is 1st January 2014. So many standards are there. You can see more than 30 standards are there. Here just some standards I highlighted or the bold. So these are the standards which are going to be taught by the provision after this semester. I think so. Sometimes provision touch some other standards also. So just I say these are the standards are there. SLA US standard 200 to 20 to 40. So up to 720. No? Yes. Okay, students. These are the things we discuss under the chapter 2. Conduct of audit. I hope you understood all the things. Okay, students. Okay, bye.